Flash comedy.
Yeah.
Sam, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to get my penis out.
Yeah.
Flash flooding. And gone in a flash. These are the interesting times.
I have friends who are, working class, but I'm not working class.
Hello everybody, my name's Matt Johnston and welcome to The Interesting Times, a show that likes to take a sideways swipe at politics right here in the UK. Cause and offence has been very much in the news recently.
The attack on author Sir Salman Rushdie at an event in New York has again raised questions of freedom of speech and the right to protect it.
Well, over the weekend, the controversial comedian Jerry Sadowitz had his Edinburgh Festival show cancelled following complaints.
OK, comparing a man that has faced down numerous threats of death for over a third of a century with a calm grace and dignity with someone using racial slurs and getting his cock out on stage is a bit of a stretch. But sure, I'll go with it.
A quick story, I haven't had enough time. My grandfather was a Holocaust survivor. He used to take my brother and I to Speaker's Corner where you could listen to what people say. It wasn't keyboard warrioring. And sometimes it was anti-Semitic bile. And he'd say, you see, in this country, this man can say anything because he knew the value of free speech. It's why people, including our grandparents, sometimes our parents at home, even people alive today, fought and died for that value.
Really? Wasn't there something about the invasion of Poland? Man, I've been taught all the wrong things at school. So, people fought and died in World War II to protect someone's right to be anti-Semitic? OK, I'm sure they did. But thankfully, they didn't win. So, for all those that have spent the last week under a rock, Jerry Sadowitz, Edinburgh show Not For Anyone, lived up to its name as it got pulled after one night following complaints of racial, homophobic and misogynistic slurs and getting his bits out, otherwise known as a run-the-mill Daily Express Christmas office party. This has led to cries of cancel culture, but ultimately Sadowitz has the right to do his stuff and the Pleasance in Edinburgh has the right to decide it's not for them. And besides, there's a Conservative leadership race going on. We've seen more than enough cocks appearing on stage over the last few weeks. Thank you very much. The good news is that large parts of the UK got rain in the last couple of days. It was much needed. The lack of rain has been like something biblical. But on Tuesday, it became apparent that God wasn't quite done with us yet.
It's not good. No, what do you do?
We are concerned over the next few days we could see a huge amount of rain in a short period of time, which could lead to flash flooding. I've written to tens of thousands of Londoners who live in homes that could be affected by flash flooding.
Well, at least Sadiq Khan is getting ahead of the curve. And of course, giving people this warning meant that many Londoners could prepare, either by flood-proofing their property or escaping to drier climates, like this guy. Boris Johnson disappeared on his second holiday in a month, leading to the hashtag on Twitter, "Get back to work, you fat ponce," after this was shouted at him in a Greek supermarket. Well, getting back to work would suggest he had been doing some in the first place, of course. He's been gone so long, Jacob Rees-Mogg has started leaving notes on his desk. At number 10, meanwhile, 2 removal lorries have turned up. And he's going to need to. He's got cake and booze. Then you've got the various uniforms, karaoke machines, and don't forget the ridiculous party wigs and inflatable sumo suits. I'm kidding, of course. He's eaten the cake and drunk the booze. Then Conservative MP for Yarmouth and Cockney Hedgehog, Brandon Lewis, went on LBC to defend Johnson.
Look, while somebody is away, whether they're Secretary of State or let alone the Prime Minister, they will be continuing to work.
So he's working while out of number 10 and holidaying while he's in it. Makes sense. And that's it. No time to talk about a poll of Tory voters which showed why people would prefer Truss to Sunak, and 2% went with their ethnicity, which is both simultaneously horrendous and unsurprising. But then you look at these two and you can't really see a reason to pick either. So racism is as good or bad a reason as any. Although other reasons are Sunak is too short, Truss has a smile of death, or both of them look like they're about to welcome you to an Eyes Wide Shut orgy. No time to talk about a Twitter user who found there were delays to her EasyJet flight caused by lack of staff and compounded by Brexit. So a little bit of justice when she spotted this guy standing in the queue. She confronted him over his Brexit lies, and look how surprised he is. This is a man, after all, who thought the toughest part of the trip was going to be getting through customs. And no time to talk about Liz Truss's leaked audio recording of her saying that the average British worker needs more graft. One British worker was unavailable for comment. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you are enjoying these videos, then please don't forget to subscribe and hit all the notifications bell so you don't miss another. And I'll see you all next week. Take care.